What if every bite you take could heal your body from the inside out? In this video, you'll learn how ordinary foods can awaken your body's natural healing power, starting with what's already on your plate. It's not a diet. It's not a trend. It's real science. And it could change how you think about food forever. Because sometimes, the most powerful medicine doesn't come in a bottle. Watch till the end and discover the foods that heal.
Have you ever thought about the fact that the food on your plate could have the power to prevent disease or even heal your body? We're not just talking about calories here. We're talking about food that can communicate directly with your DNA. Yeah, you heard that right. Today we're going to dive into the science behind this incredible idea of food as medicine, and more importantly, how you can start using it in your own life. So let's start with this. It's a pretty heavy statement, isn't it? And this isn't some random opinion. This is from the Journal of the American Medical Association. It's a huge wake-up call that really forces you to stop and ask, how on earth can the very thing that's supposed to keep us alive also be our number one threat? It seems like a paradox, but the data is crystal clear. So what's really going on here? Well, here's a big piece of the puzzle. A massive 60% of the average American adult's diet is made up of ultra-processed foods. And believe it or not, for kids, it's even worse. It's up to 67%. Now, this isn't just about having a little junk food every now and then. We're talking about the majority of what people are eating every single day, and it is fundamentally changing our health from the inside out. Okay, so let's dig into that. What exactly makes these foods so dangerous? It's not just about what they're missing, like fiber and nutrients. It's also very much about what's been added to them. Think of ultra-processed foods as these industrial creations. A really good rule of thumb is if you're looking at the ingredients list and you see words you can't even pronounce, just put it back on the shelf. These foods are directly linked to higher rates of cancer and all sorts of chronic diseases. And what's worse, they push the good stuff right off our plates. Every time you grab a processed snack, you're missing a chance to eat something that could actually protect you. This category also includes things like processed meats. Yep, bacon, sausage, pepperoni, lunch meat, which are classified as Class 1 carcinogens. That's the same category as cigarettes. But here's the good news, and it's incredibly empowering. If the wrong food can cause so much harm, then it makes sense that the right food can heal. And that right there is the core principle of food is medicine. It's all about using our daily choices to actively build a stronger, more resilient body. And this is where things get really fascinating because this isn't just a surface level thing. This goes all the way down to your genes. See, your body has genes that can promote tumor growth, but it also has genes called tumor suppressors that are like the brakes on cancer. The food you eat has compounds in it that can literally talk to your DNA, helping to switch off the bad genes and turn on the good ones. Every single meal is an opportunity to influence this battle happening inside you. So, how does food do all this? Well, a lot of the magic comes from something called phytonutrients. Phyto just means plant. These are the compounds that give fruits and veggies their incredible colors, that deep red in a beet, the bright orange in a carrot, the rich purple in a berry. I want you to think of them as your body's own personal defense team, working around the clock to protect yourselves and repair your DNA. And on that defense team, you've got your superstars. Let me introduce you to anthocyanins. These are the specific phytonutrients that create those gorgeous blue and purple colors in food. The research we're looking at today calls them jewels for cancer because their anti-cancer effects are just so incredibly powerful. So from now on, when you see a deep purple or blue food, you know you're looking at a concentrated dose of healing power. Okay, let's get practical. The science is amazing, but what should you actually put in your grocery cart? Let's build ourselves an evidence-based toolkit of power foods that can start making a real difference, like today. First up, berries. They are such an easy and delicious way to get those anthocyanins we were just talking about. And hey, don't worry about the cost of fresh ones. Frozen wild berries are just as good for you, and they're way more affordable. Now get this. A statistic from the Huge Nurses Health Study found that for breast cancer survivors, eating just 2 servings of berries a week was linked to a 25% lower risk of dying from the disease. That's a huge impact from such a simple change. But as powerful as blueberries are, some foods are on another level. Take purple sweet potatoes. They completely blow blueberries out of the water, with 150% more of those cancer-fighting anthocyanins. It's really no surprise that they're a staple food in Okinawa, Japan, one of the world's blue zones, where people live these incredibly long, healthy lives. Next up in our toolkit, cruciferous vegetables. We're talking broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, this whole family. They are the masters of detoxification. They help your body process and get rid of harmful stuff. And here's a little pro tip for you. These veggies have this magic enzyme called myrosinase, and it's most active when they're raw. So try chomping on a few raw florets before you cook the rest. Don't like them raw? No big deal. Just sprinkle some dry mustard seed on your cooked veggies. It has that same enzyme and it helps you unlock their full power. This brings us to a huge issue that is so often overlooked, the fiber gap. Almost all of us are missing out on one of the most protective nutrients out there. A shocking 95% of Americans do not get enough fiber. And remember, fiber is only found in plants. The evidence is just overwhelming. High-quality studies show that fiber can lower the risk of dying from heart disease, from pancreas cancer, and can cut the overall risk of cancer by 22%. And that leads us right to a fiber-packed powerhouse, beans and legumes. They are an amazing source of plant protein and fiber. Just look at this simple swap. We know that a diet high in red and processed meat can raise your risk of diabetes by 60%. But if you just swap out one serving of meat per day for beans or nuts, you can slash that risk by 30%. That's the power of one simple strategic change. All right, let's talk about the humble kiwi for a second. It's a champion for two totally different reasons. First, it's fantastic for your digestive health and can really help with constipation. But the part that is truly amazing is what it does on a cellular level. Kiwi is packed with antioxidants that can reduce something called oxidative stress. That's just the damage that builds up in our cells over time. And it actually helps your body repair its own DNA. How incredible is that? So now that we have our toolkit of power foods, I think it's time we tackle one of the most misunderstood foods out there, soy. There is so much confusion and fear around it, but we are going to set the record straight with what the actual human data shows. This is the big one, the question at the heart of all the fear. For decades, a lot of people, including some doctors, have been telling women, especially breast cancer survivors, to avoid soy like the plague. But where did this idea even come from? The myth all started with some old lab studies done on rodents. And in those animals, yeah, high doses of soy compounds did cause tumors. But here is the critical detail everyone missed. Humans metabolize soy in a completely different way than rodents do. It was just bad science to apply those findings to people. In humans, the data consistently shows the exact opposite effect. Soy is protective. Just how protective? Well, a meta-analysis cited by the American Cancer Society found that for breast cancer survivors, eating soy was associated with a 25% reduction in the risk of the cancer coming back. Let that sink in for a moment. The very food people were told to fear is actually a powerful tool for survival. And the benefits don't stop there. For women dealing with menopause, the results are just as dramatic. One study found that a half cup of edamame every day as part of a healthy plant-based diet reduced moderate to severe hot flashes by an 88%. It also improved mood and libido. Just incredible. Look, putting these powerful foods on your plate is a total game changer, but to really get the most out of them, we need to see them as part of a bigger picture, a vitality blueprint. Food works together with other key lifestyle choices. Exercise is absolutely medicine. The research here is just as strong as it is for nutrition. For breast cancer survivors, just being physically active can improve outcomes by up to 50%. And movement is also a fantastic way to handle stress. When we feel anxious, our body gets flooded with stress hormones like adrenaline. Exercise literally burns through those hormones, helping us find that calm and balance. So let's just boil this all down into a simple 3-step blueprint. First, lead with love. Because if you don't love yourself enough to believe you're worth the effort, it's really hard to make any lasting changes. Second, move your body. It doesn't have to be a marathon. Find something you enjoy. A 5-minute walk after a meal is a perfect place to start. And third, eat more plants. Don't focus on what to take away. Focus on adding in all of these wonderful, colorful, and powerful foods we've been talking about. So I'll just leave you with this one question. This isn't about a perfect diet overhaul overnight. It's about small, consistent steps. So what is the one thing you can do today? Are you going to add a handful of berries to your breakfast? Maybe swap in beans for meat at dinner? Or just go for a 5-minute walk? The power to change your health is right there in your hands, one bite at a time. Before we go, remember, your plate can be your daily medicine. Start tiny. Add a handful of berries, swap beans for meat, or take a 5-minute walk. Your future self will thank you. If this helped, Tap like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next episode. Today's question: what's one small change you'll make this week, and when will you start? Drop it in the comments. I'm reading them. Stay curious, stay kind, and take good care. See you soon.